Hello, my name is Sean Imler, and I'm a BodyTalk practitioner and hypnotherapist in Silicon Valley. I spent quite a number of years in the tech industry before I made a drastic change in my life and went into the healing arts. And rather than go into a traditional school, I chose to learn BodyTalk, or maybe BodyTalk chose me. The first class that I took was BodyTalk Access, and I have done Access nearly every single day since I learned it. It's a powerful, comprehensive technique, and I've seen miracles happen with BodyTalk. Um, it helps to keep your brain in balance. It helps keep your immunity high. It helps to keep your body, your musculoskeletal system in balance, and it helps you deal with stress. Um, In fact, I just recently went to the doctor and she took my blood pressure and she looked at me and said, "Is your blood pressure always this low?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "Well, this is remarkable for someone your age." I just thought to myself, no, it's BodyTalk. So it's my passion for staying healthy and my passion for BodyTalk that makes me want to share the BodyTalk Access protocol with you. Um, The Cortices technique is probably the first and foremost important technique in BodyTalk protocol, and it's also the first technique that you learn in the Access system. Its purpose is to bring the left and right hemispheres of the brain into balance, and they've shown with infrared technology that there are what they call cold spots, or places where there is a lack of cellular activity and blood supply in the brain. Now the brain reflects what's happening in the body, and it reflects dis-ease. So if there's something happening in the body, it's going to be reflected in the brain, and the Cortices technique can actually help to bring those parts, those cold spots, back online to bring health and well-being to the brain and the body. It also affects the amygdala. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for the fight or flight response that we have. When we have fight or flight response, we move into a state of stress. Our breathing speeds up, our immunity shuts down, we have heightened senses, we're on edge. There are hormones released throughout the body that completely change our metabolism. And what the Cortices technique can do is to bring deliberation back to the brain and say, hey, things are okay, calm down, and stop this fight or flight response, and keep our immunity strong and healthy and online. So, I'd like to show you the Cortices technique. And this is about moving your hand along the top of your head, over the midline of your brain, connecting both hemispheres of the brain. We keep the fingers together to promote a healthy connection. And we start on the back of the head, and this is where the cranium meets the neck. We put our hand over that area, okay, and then we're going to tap on top of the head. Keep the fingers spread to make sure that we're covering both sides of this midline, contacting both sides of the brain. This sends a standing wave into the brain. We're basically telling the brain our intention to bring balance to the brain. And we're keeping a slow, steady, deep breath going to facilitate the movement of the connection of the brain to the body. So first, we breathe and we tap on top of the head, and then we tap over the heart. Tapping over the heart is like the memory of our intention of what we're doing right now. Again, we tap on the head, and we tap on the heart. Then we move our hand to the next position. I like to think of it putting the index finger where the pinky was, like this. Okay, so we move to the next position, and again, we keep our intention of balancing both hemispheres of the brain. We tap on top of the head, telling the brain to listen, keeping our breath deep, slow, and relaxed. Then we tap over the heart to tell the heart to remember our intention. Tap again on the head, tap again on the heart. Then we move our hand to the next position on the head. So we've moved from the occipital region of the brain to the parietal region of the brain. Again, we tap on top of the head, keeping our breath deep, our intention strong, tapping over the heart. Again, tapping on top of the head, and again tapping over the heart. Then we move our hand to the next position, next part of the parietal lobes, tapping again on top of the head, and then over the heart. Again, on top of the head, and over the heart. Remember to keep the fingers wide when you're tapping on the head so that you're reaching both sides of the midline of the brain. Where we end up is with our pinky on the brow line, and this is over the prefrontal cortex part of the brain. And again, we tap on top of the head and over the heart. One more time on top of the head and then over the heart. The last position is to place both hands on the sides of the head over the temporal region of the brain. We keep our breath deep, we keep our intention of balancing both hemispheres of the brain, and we remove one of our hands from the side of the head, and we tap on top of the head and over the heart. Then we place our hand back on the side of the head. At this point, I like to switch hands and tap with the other hand on top of the head and then over the heart. You've just learned the Cortices technique. So the BodyTalk Access system is used as a self-maintenance protocol. And this is something that we can do on a daily basis to keep our body healthy, in alignment. We can use it to stimulate our immune system. We can use it to hydrate our bodies. We can use it to deal with the stress response. We can do it to bring our brain back into balance. But this is also something that we can do on other people with what we call the fast aid protocol. In times of trauma or emergency, we can actually use a version of the Cortices technique with another technique that you learn called the reciprocals. And we do this on someone else when they've received an injury. Right at the time of trauma is probably the best time to use it. When you get into learning the BodyTalk protocol itself, this is something that you do for other people, and we learn expanded versions of the techniques that we use in the BodyTalk Access system. For instance, the Cortices technique, hydration technique, and switching techniques are part of Section 1 of the BodyTalk protocol. The reciprocals technique and the body chemistry techniques are both in Section 4 of the BodyTalk protocol. In fact, body chemistry, we learn actually how to identify microbes, toxins, allergies, other things that affect someone else's body and help bring those things back into balance. I think that you'll feel a great difference when you learn these techniques, and I highly support that you learn them from an experienced practitioner. And I am going to be teaching this BodyTalk Access system, and if you're interested in learning more about this powerful program, keep in contact with me. Thank you so much.